Hambi is situated in Hospet Taluk of Bellary district in Karnataka. Hospet is the nearest town to Hambi, about 12 kilometers, and is well connected with the different places of Karnataka both by road and rail. Hospet is one of the Hubli Guntakal railway route. Government buses ply between the railway station and the Hospet bus stand. Hospet, being the Taluk headquarters, is a moderate town with low, medium, and high budget hotels catering to the needs of all categories of tourists. Hampi can be reached either through Kadirampura or Kamalpura route. When one reaches Hampi, the Tungabhadra Valley unravels to the world with the suitable rays of the early sun. With this, the human interaction with the nature unfolds at Hampi. One can see a fine blend of human and natural physical landscape going hand in hand at Hampi. This visual expression attracts people from far flung places. This religion speaks volumes of history of the past. The first monument that is seen by the visitor who comes from Hospet to Hampi is the Sasivkalu Ganesha. The monument is an open plain pillared mandapa structure that houses a huge monolithic sculpture of Ganesha, and hence the monument derives its name by the sculpture housed in it. Hemakutta Hill consists of a medieval pathway towards the northwest of corner of the Krishna temple that leads to a group of early temples predominantly having a pre-Vijayanagar in the character. All those structures are enclosed in the large enclosure of Cyclopean wall with majestic entrance at north and east. On the Hemakutta hillock, about 30 temples of varying sizes and shapes are built and are datable between 9th to 16th century AD. Those temples have a single, two, and three Garbhagrahas or sanctum and sanctorum and are the examples of pre-Vijayanagar architecture of the scared Hampi. As one descends down towards the north from the Hamakutta hillock, one can reach the eastern entrance of the Virupaksha temple. The Virupaksha or Pampati temple is the most scarce living temple of Hambi. The temple, originally a small shrine, was expanded into a vast complex of the present dimension during first half of the 16th century AD. The entire temple complex is within a long rectangular enclosure divided into two large courts with imposing toward Gopura gateways. Prolagnati Tippa, an officer of Devaraya II, is said to have caused the eastern entrance. The inner eastern smaller entrance Gopura and painted pillared Rangamandapa were built by Krishnadevaraya in 1510 AD on the occasion of his coronation. The complex has numerous subsidiary shrines and pillared cloistered mandapa all along with the enclosure wall. Some of the important subsidiary shrines are of Mukti Narsimha, Pataleshwara, Navadurga, Surya Narayana, Tarakeshwara, Saraswati, Vidyaranya, Parvati, and Bhuvaneshwari. The last two exhibit Kalyana Chalukyan 12th century AD characters. A narrow water channel is drawn from Tungabhadra river which flows along the terrace of the temple and gradually descends to the temple kitchen and finally flows through the outer prakara enclosure and later joins the river. Passing through the bazaar of Virupaksha temple midway, a pathway along the river up to Kodandarama temple is said to have been laid by Kampa Bhupa, son of King Harihara, in the year of 1383 AD. This pathway is still being used by the visitors to reach the Chakratirtha and Kodandarama temple. On the sloping hillock nearby is the west-facing temple of Narasimha, built by Hiriya Timma Setti is about 1386 AD. It is the earliest dated Narasimha temple at Hambi. Continuing in the same path towards the Vittala temple is a two-storied mandapa with an entrance passage set into the fortification wall serving as the southwestern entrance to Vittala temple. On the southern side, two small single-celled shrines are found attached. King's Balance. Beyond this gate, further to north, is a huge stone balance, a structure meant for weighing the king against precious gems and metals during important occasions like the birthdays and auspicious days like festive days, solar and lunar eclipse, and is either gifted to the temple or to the people, which is known as Tulapurusha Dana. A gateway now in ruined condition is located nearly 50 meters north of King Balance with lofty pillars and door jumps. This is one of the most important temples found at Hambi as it marks the highest workmanship indicating the mature Vijayanagara phase of architecture. It has massive enclosure with entrance gateways on three sides with lofty gopuras at north, south and east. The Vittala temple is known as Vittaleshwara in the inscriptions. The core of the temple was in existence from the times of Devaraya. However, the later kings added many new architectural edifices within the complex. Krishnadevaraya has made substantial additions to it. Apart from the main shrine, the temple in the courtyard has Devi Shrine, Kalyana Mandapa, Utsava Mandapa and 100 pillared Mandapa and much famed stone chariot. The Garuda Shrine in front. A lofty Dipa Stampa about 12.2 meters in the front of the east Gopura was in existence, but now it lies on the ground broken into pieces. It is one of the most majestic temples built by the Krishnadevaraya in 1513 AD. In the Krishnapura locality with the bazaar and the sacred Lokpavani tank on the east, as per the inscriptions, a Balakrishna image brought from the temple at Udaygiri in Orissa was enshrined in the mandapa here. The huge monolithic sculpture of Lakshmi Narasimha is located near Krishna temple. It is one of the most outstanding works of sculptural art of Vijayanagara. Very close to the shrine of Narasimha is an interesting shrine with a huge monolithic Shiva Linga of nearly 3 meters high. The lower part of the linga remains in the water throughout the year. As one proceeds towards Kamalapura from Udana Virubhadra, on the right side of the road one can see huge boulders clanging to each other. These two stones are known as the Akka Tangiyara Gundu or Sister Stone, a popular landmark of Hambi. Prasanna Virupaksha temple is situated very close to the Akka Tangiyara Gundu. The temple faces east and is much below on ground level, and hence it is popularly called by another name as underground Shiva temple. The dilapidated temple has been renovated and restored in recent times. Lotus Mahal is an important secular structure at Hambi. The Lotus Mahal, also known as Sitrangi Mahal, is a very good example of Indo-Islamic style of architecture. It is a two-storied structure built in rubble masonry and finally plastered. On plan it is of square type with indents and central projections in the cardinal direction. The ornate plinth has an elegant arched superstructure covered by the 9 miniature structures resembling the Gopura. The cornice is arranged one above the other in diminishing order, topped by fluted dome which is pyramidal in form. The stucco ornamentation of the cusped arches through fragmentary is well executed. A flight of steps leads to the first floor of the structure. Zanana enclosure is located to the northeast of Hazara Ramachandra temple. A small guarded entrance on the eastern enclosure wall of the Zanana enclosure leads to the area of elephant stable. The elephant stable is represented by the homogeneous group of chambers with a high arched facade with lofty domed roof. 11 chambers are built side by side in north-south orientation in the area of 85 into 10 meters. Hazara Ramachandra temple is situated abutting the palace of Harihara on the eastern side. The name Hazara means courtyard or thousand, and its prefix is given to the Ramachandra temple. Since the location of the temple happens to be a part of the palace complex and also has numerous depictions of relief sculptures of Rama in the Ramayana narrative panel found on the biti of the temple. Hence, the temple is aptly called Hazara Ramachandra temple. A royal enclosure is situated on the western side of the Queen's Bath across the road, covering an area measuring roughly 95,000 square meters. The nucleus of the royalty and its area is known as for its elegant decorated plinths, water systems, large halls, pillared shrine, and different types of water storage tanks, most of which have been found during excavation. Sculptured terraced platform known as Mahanavami Dippa, prefabricated ornate hissed stone step tank with label inscriptions indicating the direction, course, and stone number, large tank known as the public bath, underground shrine, and King's Audience Hall known as Bhavana Vijaya are some of the important structures in the royal enclosures. Close to the Chandrasekhara temple and on the right side of the metal road, the much visited structure of Hambi, the Queen's Bath is located. This is a large square structure with a plain exterior and the ornate interior. It faces south and has a bath area of 15 meters square and 1.8 meter deep. This building is an Indo-Islamic style. Around the square bath in the middle are corridors with ornate balconies with cut plaster decoration projectioning into the well. A flight of steps leads to the well of the bath at north. On three sides, large arched opening provide lighting necessary to the monument. The ceiling of the corridor inside has the plaster decorations of the recent excavations to the northwest. Across the road have laid bare the related structure of this complex.